Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Mock.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
Solzy.
J-Mart.
And the Red Baron.
Oh, that's so fun. I made sure to put in and joined by this time. I know it throws you off, Mock.
Yeah, it tricked me last week.
Yeah. Anyway, starting lineups. We have a Goose Island theme table today.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Yet.
One day. So, Red Baron, would you like to lead us off?
I have the Goose Oatmeal Stout.
You had to look at it to read that? Like, you just going to remember oatmeal stout?
You know, I'm doing it like for the camera that we don't have yet.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Pause for effect.
Beautiful.
I have the Fulton Street Blend Coffee Ale.
It's very good. It's like iced coffee.
Excellent.
I have the Koi Wolf.
Nice.
I'm drinking the alt beer.
Nice.
The alt beer. And then, I have a lot of these farmhouse ales. So the Red Baron has decided I should make a series out of it over the course of however many shows.
Is there egg in it?
Yep.
Is there
So
egg in it?
over the course of the next, I don't know, what do we count? Like 6 shows probably?
Yeah, 6, 7.
I'll be featuring a different 750 milliliter sized farmhouse ale.
What about some crispy onions?
Shut up, souls. So this one is the Sophie, the Belgian style. And it's been aged for 5 years.
There you go.
It's only supposed to be aged for 1 month. So we'll see. No, I'm just kidding. So our toast to excellence, we decided we're going to add in a new feature to the show off of our, piggybacking off of our good friend Peter Pinot at PPRN Radio Network. Everybody is going to give their own toast of excellence from now on. Kind of like the What You Learned segment on PPRN. So, Red Baron?
My toast to excellence is for Larry Fitzgerald. He was featured last week, but he once again jumped ahead on the receiving yards list ahead of Randy Moss. So, cheers to him. A little golf clap, Kyle.
Bravo, Larry. Mine's going to go out to someone even better. Michael Beasley of the New York Knicks for following out in, what did we say, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, 0 for 3 shooting.
2 rebounds.
He got a standing ovation. So, we salute.
We're
Souls?
going to do this for everybody.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And mine, if we're Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Actually, check the fantasy name. It's Big Ben Cucklisberger.
Anyways, he the only quarterback to ever throw 500 yards in a single pass in a single game 3 times.
There were so many ways you could have worded that, and you picked the worst one.
You think I care?
I don't even know what to say.
Ever seen a video of a train derailing?
So let's just reiterate it. He's the only quarterback to have thrown for 500 yards in 3 games.
I like to do it my way.
3 games, only quarterback, 500 games.
Gotcha.
There we go.
You know what? I'm gonna drink all of that.
I'd like to give my toast out to Brian Cashman, the GM of the Yankees, for building what looks to be another dynasty Yankees team.
Worse today.
And I would like to give...
staff.
now. Shut it. Mine's a little heartfelt. My toast of excellence goes out to the finalized career of the greatest return man in all of NFL football. Devin Hester announced his retirement. So a toast to them.
Can't help but notice, but mine didn't get the golf
It's
clap.
because you were throwing up.
I clap for you.
I can't open mine. Can't open it.
It's all right.
There we
Kyle
go.
doesn't even have an opener.
I also
He
don't
does have an opener. I put it next to him. I
Oh, boy.
pointed to it and showed him, and he still didn't go for it. We have an explosion over here
Not me for once.
in the.
Oh no! No, I'm just joking.
Oh God! You okay, Paul?
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. Oh, God.
He's making a mess here at the GDH Woodcrafting
Hey,
Studios.
Steve, why is this doing this? It's supposed to age well.
Steve, he was on a show earlier this year. He joins us tonight, as well as his brother Greg, who is the owner of the studio here.
Still
I
going.
think the Riddler's going to have to just finish his beer now.
It's just foaming and foaming.
That was one excited beer.
It was just so ready to be opened.
He's tearing up a little bit.
It was yearning.
What do we got? Good to go?
I was really looking forward to enjoying this. It's all over my face and my chin. I feel like Asa Akira. Ugh. All right, I think we're good. All right, where were we?
2 minutes from now, it just starts up again.
Yeah. I mean, it tastes good, but I don't really think it was meant to be drank like that. Oh, God, it's foaming up. All right. Anyway, where do we leave off? Shot trivia?
Well, before we get into that, there's two guys that already owe shots.
Oh,
True.
My.
Now, J-Mart hasn't had the private stock yet.
No, but I've heard.
I'll go first.
Soul's picking up where he left off last week.
Yeah.
It tastes like vomit.
We'll have to make sure that Stev gets a... So, yeah, man, every time it was drank, there was a different taste.
Kyle, did it not age well?
Oh, dude, it tastes like complete vomit now.
So we got...
Over to Greg or around
Greg.
the horn.
Yeah, give.
It's like peppermint.
That's what the Red Baron was getting.
I don't feel that way.
And then, so...
It sits funny.
Maksheen will be doing his shot for getting the trivia question wrong. You just like that sound.
Love it.
Give it a healthy gulp. Like a man. Excellent. Oh, you loved it last time. Oh, he still likes it.
It really wasn't,
Doesn't not
that
taste
bad.
as good
It
as I
sits
remember.
funny.
It's a great bottle. I'm a big fan of the bottle. It's like the Old West.
So
Yeah.
I took a peek inside the bottle, and it's coming.
Oh, yeah, it's creeping.
There it is.
Vesuvius.
It's like a soul's erection. Oh, it shrunk. Never mind. It's growing back up. Oh, there we go.
Now, the question I have is to coincide, we're talking basketball tonight. How many regular season games are played in total? In total, Kyle.
Kyle's like, oh, man, this isn't one I can just try to figure out in my head. Jeff's going to use the calculator on his phone, but he doesn't know how to use the equation.
If caught cheating...
So I'm going to just do some quick math in my head. There's
Answer now.
82 games, 30
Give me a number.
teams, 621.
I don't think you did this correctly.
What do you mean?
I just don't think you did it correctly.
2,600.
We'll go with 483.
483.
And Riddler?
Did you give an answer, Riddler?
621.
621? All right. I guess I'll go with 999.
The correct answer is 2,460.
I just picked a number between two people, so I knew I wouldn't be wrong.
Kyle lost.
Because you didn't carry the 9.
He didn't carry the 9. All right, so that was a weird question. I didn't like that one.
You know it's bad when I get a math equation almost right.
This thing is just not stopping. It's regurgitating itself. The problem is that I have 6 more of these, all aged the same amount of time. I'm very nervous.
If we could backtrack just for a second, to spotlight your series there. I don't know what happened to Souls.
He tried to hit the top of my beer bottle, and I kind of yelled no.
Why is it called Sophie?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'll do the research. I'll come back with an answer next week.
I like it.
Because they're all female names. There's a Juliet. There's a Matilda. Juliet. Did I say that one already?
I think so, but that's right.
Halia. They're all female names. So, yeah. Oh, wait. This is a really broken up show today. I don't like it.
It's the holidays.
Souls, do you have the Pick'em updates? Because we haven't done that in a while.
No, I don't.
You don't have
But
them?
I know the standings.
Okay. Give us the standings.
Paul is in first by 2 games over Kyle. Mock's in third. Kendall's in fourth. And Jeff's in fifth. But Kendall and Jeff are only 3 and 4 games out from Mock.
Whoa.
Ooh.
We're coming for you.
Comebacks on.
The quest for last. I like it. Kyle, we should get them all wrong. We should finish last. Let's duel it out.
We could try, but I'll probably end up winning more games.
Yeah. You're an ass. So, Maksheen Watchable gave it away. NBA show.
What?
What? So this was Kyle's birth of a child. He wanted to come up with the topics for this. Are you excited?
See how it goes.
Yeah. So, Kyle, which would you like to lead off with? You want to lead off with the All-Star candidates?
Yeah, we could do that.
So, round the horn, first-time All-Star potential candidates. Players that have never made the All-Star game that should make it this year.
I guess I'm going to lead off, Kyle. I'm going to say, don't think the guy deserves it, but it's going to be Lonzo Ball.
Don't think the guy deserves it.
LeVar's going to put a team together to get him in there.
All right, that's fair. Souls?
I'm going to go with Victor Oladipo.
Oh, real quick. Does anybody at the table agree with Lonzo Ball? I disagree.
No, he's not making it.
I disagree also.
Excellent.
Yeah, he's not making it.
All right, perfect. If he
What do you
makes
guys
it,
think?
if he makes it, we all have to do a gross shot, including Mock.
Nope.
Yep. Souls?
I'm going with Victor Oladipo.
Nice.
The guy is averaging about 20-plus points a game, about 7 rebounds and 6 assists, and completely carrying the Pacers on his back.
Yeah, he sure is.
All right. Fair.
So everyone looked at that trade and was like, "Wow, you got nothing in return for Paul George." But now you look and Oladipo's leading the team, something Paul George really didn't do, and the numbers show. I mean, he's actually averaging more in every stat than Paul George is this year,
And beat
out
the
of nowhere.
Cavs twice.
So definitely,
I agree. I agree with
surprise.
Oladipo. I agree with Oladipo, but he won't be a starter.
No.
No. Mock, do you agree with Oladipo?
I do agree.
J-Mark?
Oh yeah,
Plain?
I agree also.
J-Mark, who's your all-star prediction?
a guy that should have made it for the last decade, just about.
Luol Deng?
No. Damian Lillard, and especially with Steph Curry injured, he's got a window to make it finally. He really should have made it the last few years, but it's just such a point guard heavy league.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think he makes it.
We don't know. We thought that the last 3
Yeah,
years.
I mean,
and
he pretty
didn't
much
get it.
is
It's true.
the notable snub every season, so.
It's sad. Red Baron.
Ben Simmons.
Wow. All right.
He's playing some good basketball this year. Not deserving of the rookie of the year, which he will be awarded most likely.
Excellent. Kyle's erection just went down.
Well, shout out to the 76ers. Trust the process. Whatever that process is yet to be seen. But they're playing decent basketball, and I think good for Simmons.
Good for Simmons.
Kyle wants to debate you so bad, but you said
All
a
right.
nice thing about him.
Debate me, souls. Regard me.
I say Devin Booker.
Yeah, he'll probably make it.
I think so. He's kind of been playing lights out, and
They let him shoot like 55 times a game.
doesn't
He
matter.
kind of has to.
No, I don't disagree with it.
I think you should make the All-Star game. Disagree with me if you will.
He'll probably be in the 3-point competition too.
Yeah, probably. But that's because he takes 30 a game.
That's right.
Doesn't matter because Anthony Davis is going to win it.
He probably won't participate.
Oh, he'll be in there.
They
He'll
should-
be in there, Kyle.
They should make like 2 3-point contests. They should make like a real one and then like a fun one. Because like I would have loved to have seen a 3-point contest where the final was like Shaq and Ben Wallace
And Dwight.
and Dwight.
Or like a free throw challenge.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Like
How boring that'd be to watch, though.
no, not at
What
all.
if you take like the lowest percentages?
Yeah,
Take like DeAndre Jordan, people that airball them.
yeah. I like that. And then
Make
what
them
would
do
you-
it blindfolded
well, see, the
too.
thing no, not blindfolded, but you make it like a what's it called like a 40-second clock. And someone's, instead of having a rack like they do in the 3-point contest, someone's feeding them the ball. So they're catching it and then they're shooting it. And then every 10 seconds, like a horn will go off and they have to change the shooting style. So one-handed free throws, then it'll be normal free throws, then granny style free throws, and then behind the back free throws.
You know what? Guarantee they'll probably make more granny style than they do regularly.
Just shoot them with tennis balls while they try and shoot.
Shoot them with tennis balls? Oh, man, that'd be terrible.
Do you think? Oh, I'm
no,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Well, do you think any player could shoot threes blindfolded regularly?
Yeah.
Ray
He's
Allen.
sitting at the table.
Oh, is that
It's
you?
me.
Wow.
I mean, I could think of a handful of NBA players that probably like past and present that could do it. I mean, I think Steph Curry has just a natural like awareness of where the hoop is. Ray Allen, Reggie Miller,
K. Corv.
K. Corv,
So do you think that would be like a
Brad
stupid,
Miller. No,
Would
I'm
that,
not disagreeing with you.
I think I made a U.S. Olympic team and it was hilarious.
would that be a stupid contest?
Yeah.
Blindfolded?
You know why it's stupid though? Because you said it.
See, I had a feeling.
If
that
Skip
was the
Bayless
reason.
said it, I'd have been all about it. So let's, we kind of talk about, hot and not teams for like the NFL and stuff, but just, so like what teams are you buyers on and sellers on for like the NBA right now type of thing, because certain teams start off hot and doesn't finish that way, so are you buying or selling on the Boston Celtics? Well, I guess I'll give you like a preface. So are you buying or selling on the Boston Celtics going to the NBA Finals?
I'm selling. I feel like they're too young. Even with Kyrie, the team around him is still very, like, they're not there yet.
Okay.
Horford's very soft. Tatum and Brown didn't play a lot last year. Tatum's a rookie. I just don't feel like they can handle, like the Wizards in a big time situation or the Cavs.
See, I almost agreed, but I think they handle everyone but the Cavs. I think they're one defensive piece away. I think trading Crowder was a big mistake. Looking back, you don't have that enforcer defensively. I mean, Marcus Smart's a great defender, but he's not going to guard a 4 or 5.
Well, I mean, in hindsight, too, thinking about it, the defense could have suffered a little bit if they still had the 20 points per game from Gordon Hayward. But I agree with you. Crowder was. If the Celtics could go back and redo that trade, I would be willing to give up everybody except for Crowder. That's like I feel like he was the one guy on that team. That
He also lost a lot of defense from Avery Bradley too.
Yeah, true. All right, so we'll kind of get into this topic of potential people later. But J-Mart, are you buying or selling on James Harden being league MVP?
I'm going to buy into that fully. I said it earlier in another show. He didn't get it last year narrowly. I think he definitely gets it this year. He's putting up just about the same numbers, if not better. He's got a better cast around him. And you look at the guy that won it last year, and he's got to battle his minutes with all the other superstars they have. So his stats are kind of a little bit lower. He's still getting the triple-doubles, but James Harden's winning.
True.
And putting those numbers up.
I'm buying on Harden.
That wasn't the question.
Well, I'm answering it.
No.
He looks like the best player in the NBA right now.
We're going to give you questions that you can answer.
Well, I answered
Are you
that one.
buying or selling that the Pelicans trade either Cousins or Davis by the trade deadline?
I'm buying that they trade Cousins. I think he's going to get more interest. Davis seems to always be hurt.
Are you buying or selling on the gumbo prices at the stadium?
Gumbo prices.
'Cause I'm buying all.
Crawdaddies. All right. Kendall, Red Baron, are you buying or selling on, after what we've seen so far in this NBA season, are you buying or selling Oklahoma City's big three?
I am buying. I think it's early yet. I think there's a lot of basketball to be played, and I think they'll kind of find a more cohesive. I think it's tough to throw a big three together and make it work. I don't know. Do you guys disagree that you can't?
I'm just asking. I'm the unbiased person. Kyle, argue with the man.
You think you can just throw a big three together and just expect it to work?
It all depends on the players.
I think
Oklahoma City had 3 guys that love to score the ball and not pass. But like in Miami, LeBron and Wade, who both like the ball in their hand too, they made it work towards the end. That's what I see Oklahoma City doing.
Well, I guess that's how I feel also. I think it's early yet to be like, oh, well, this was a mistake.
Well, I feel like Miami's big three worked too because it was they were close-knit off the court as well as they were on the court. Not that like George and Anthony and Westbrook aren't friendly off the court, but like Wade and Bosh spend Christmas together, with their families, and LeBron and Wade, they train together in the off seasons all the time.
They were all part of the Team USA team.
Right. So like they just have a close-knit relationship on and off the court, locker room, personal life, the whole thing. So it just kind of worked. I don't know how Boston's worked right off the get-go, to be honest with you. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, really, it's only Kyrie. So he's
no, like the old
Garnett
big three.
Oh.
Garnett. It's you. So you have a guy that is just probably one of the most angry, like just power forwards to ever play the game, and just likes to swear at people and use provocative language
In the stands.
Yep. And then you have this just bald-headed three-point shooter that just kind of soft-spoken, doesn't really seem to be aggressive at all. And then you've got this guy who was the leading scorer for the team forever, kind of looks like the guy from Empire, and it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Don't forget Rondo too.
Yeah, it's true. The big three plus
Yeah,
Rondo.
Kendrick Perkins.
Big Baby Davis is what you meant to say, and they had Eddie House, which is more important, right, Brian? Yeah, see. All right, so we'll do a couple more of these, and then we'll move on. So I like this one for J-Mart. So J-Mart, are you buying or selling the Knicks making the playoffs?
I am buying. I think the 8th seed is where we wind up ultimately. It's been surprising so far to see the success. I mean, recent injuries are kind of the only thing that have really taken a toll. We have to win on the road, though. That's the big issue with the team right now. And I think that's something that they will find success doing as we move forward. It's still early. You got a bunch of young kids. They're giving Frank the minutes now. Once they start getting their chemistry up, I think that's when the road wins start.
So, are you buying or selling Minnesota being a top 3 team in the West?
Selling. They're not going to be a top 3. They'll make the playoffs, but they'll probably be like a 5 or a 6. Because they're very young still, with Towns and Butler. They still haven't played a whole season together yet. So I think they'll be in the middle of the road team. But I think in the next few years they'll be able to become a top 3 seed.
All right, okay, that's fair. Mock, are you buying or selling a Warriors-Cavaliers NBA Finals?
Buying. I don't see anyone that.
The Pelicans were going to make it this year.
They're
the dark
going to
horse.
get knocked out on a bad call.
I mean, the Warriors, I think, they don't seem to be as powerful as they were last year, but they're going to cruise through the playoffs, and I don't think the Celtics will be able to beat the Cavs.
All right, and Red Baron.
Yes.
You suck. Are you buying or selling on Milwaukee being a top 4 team in the East?
I don't understand the question. No, I am selling. I'm selling. I think there are much better teams in the West that will.
Well, they're in the East.
I said East.
Ooh, there you
Private stock.
Stock.
This is an elaborate ploy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I said East. I don't really know how it was the ploy, but
Just better teams, and the reasoning's the same. I mean, they're a middle of the pack team, and they will fizzle out.
all right, that's fair. So we kind of touched on it with J-Mart, MVP discussion. Obviously, James Harden. I think it could be unanimous across the table that James Harden is leading the race as of now for MVP. But what other cases can be made?
LeBron James. He's literally brought the Cavs from being like 4 or 5 games under 500 to bring him over 10 games over 500.
He pretty much has single-handedly been responsible for their winning so far, too. I mean, Thomas isn't back yet. That could be the big factor, though. If Thomas comes back, his numbers could fall.
He's averaging 25-plus points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. He's doing it all.
I mean, every year you could make a case for LeBron.
I'll say he's always going to be in there.
Sometimes I get baffled as to how he's not MVP every year.
Yeah, that's fair. Any other names?
You could always make a case for Westbrook.
I was going to say Durant.
Durant this year.
Especially with Curry being out for a little while, it'll be up to him to lead the team.
Boogie.
If we talk about like most valuable player, like the way they should be, Oladipo should be in contention because he isn't the reason why the Pacers are 5 games over.
It doesn't matter what sport we cover. That will always be the discussion. If the MVP trophy actually went for something it was supposed to be for, last year in the NBA was probably the first time I've ever seen the MVP trophy go to a deserving person for what the trophy stands for.
Yep.
Because I think the Rockets would have made the playoffs without Harden. They just would have been an 8 seed and they would have got swept real easily. Because they still had scoring without him. They were a very high scoring team. And it's not like Harden adds a lot defensively to that team. But Oklahoma wouldn't have even scratched the playoffs.
That's how I feel about Oladipo.
No, that's what he's saying.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That will always be the discussion. So,
If the season ended now, if that's how it worked, yeah.
and let's be realistic.
Without a doubt.
If Westbrook didn't average a triple double, it would have been Harden last year.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it was 9.9, 9.9, and 9.9,
Because
it would have went to Harden.
Oladipo was literally making game-winning shots.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying that's not how the league.
Arguing.
No,
with
I'm
you,
just
Kyle.
explaining. I'm explaining why. Like he should be in
Kyle's
contention.
been following Oladipo. Ever
He went
since he was
to
a kid.
Michigan State, right?
Indiana.
Oh, my
yeah.
mistake.
He's a big Indiana fan.
Always been.
We all know this.
I just paid attention.
Did your cousin draft him?
Yes, he did.
I thought
That was his first ever draft pick.
And his
Should've been
last-
me.
And he traded
I
him for
was
Serge
trying to
Ibaka.
piece together why.
That's why he's back in
Kyle's
Oklahoma
so
City.
caught up.
Love you, Rob.
You just blew our chance of being on the show.
He'll be on the show anyways.
So, if let's just say, like things go this way, if Golden State overtakes Houston and takes the 1 seed, if Boston can withstand Cleveland and win the 1 seed, do you think Kyrie was deserving of an MVP?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we'll just kind of keep his stats somewhat parallel to what they're doing, maybe a little better. But I mean, he's pretty much putting up outstanding numbers anyway. So
He's one of the biggest reasons why the Celtics are where they're at. They lost Gordon Hayward for the year. He's making the younger kids better. That's why I think an MVP it makes his team around him better, not just him better.
Jim, you don't seem to be buying in on Kyrie Irving being potential MVP.
I mean, as of right now, he for sure could be. I'm I'm never sure with the Boston Celtics.
What about
I
masked
don't know what to
Kyrie?
expect all season long.
Yeah, would masked Kyrie be MVP?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Or
if you had-
untucked jersey
If you had
Kyrie?
the combination of the two.
There should be multiple Kyries in 2K.
That's what I said. It's like in the WWE games where you unlock like vintage outfits for characters. You should be able to be masked Kyrie, untucked jersey Kyrie, Kyrie with no shoes because he gave him away too early in the game.
I have a question for you guys because a lot of that stuff behind Kyrie, like when he left, was would he be able to play without LeBron? Will that weigh in on his?
No, because he
MVP
played without
chances.
LeBron before.
Yeah, I think the discussion really like they just said can he play without LeBron, but I think the real discussion was he was good, and then LeBron came and Kyrie became great. Could he be great without LeBron? And I think even though we're only just shy of 30 games into the season, I think he's proven so far, he can be great without LeBron.
Well, because the thing is, when he first came into the league, he didn't have LeBron, so he was like, he had to be the guy right away.
Right, and I think when he first started before LeBron came back, I think he was very good, but I don't think he was great. He became great because of LeBron. Obviously, it takes pressure off of you. It opens you up because LeBron's going to get attention. And then, cue Kevin Love and the emergence of Tristan Thompson from last year, not this year.
Yeah, because of the Kardashian.
Yeah, Corver, all these other players that can score or attract attention on certain areas of the court. But I think so far this season, he's proven that he can play at the caliber he had been with LeBron, without LeBron. If that makes sense.
I think it's something, too, that the media really blows up because it's a great story. It's a great feud. They're already rivals, the two teams. Then you throw Kyrie requesting a trade. He's great. I mean, look back to the finals where the Cavs won. I think everyone that watched it will remember the 3-pointer he drained over Curry.
Yeah.
He's just...
That was just regular Kyrie.
That's true. that was no mask.
That was Cavs Kyrie.
Cavs Kyrie. So let's kind of switch to the helm a little bit. We talked about potential MVP candidates, which obviously means, for the most part, veteran players that have fine-tuned their game and know what they're doing. Let's go to the flip side. Rookies. What rookies have most impressed you this season, with the exception of Ben Simmons? Just because Ben Simmons is kind of... If we're going to... when we talk MVP, LeBron type of thing, when we talk rookies, I think it's fair to leave Ben Simmons out of it, because...
He's not a rookie?
No, just because Ben Simmons...
He's putting up,
he's
seasoned vet numbers.
Yeah, I mean, he's hands down the best rookie. So let's leave it off the table and talk about other rookies.
Yeah. I'm just going to lead off. What was that?
No, go ahead.
Jason Tatum is really impressive to me. He was a guy that, he was very well regarded going into the draft to begin with. But then you have to figure he's going to come off the bench. You got Gordon Hayward. He gets hurt. It's got to be real for him then. He's a teenager, and they're throwing him right into the starting lineup of a competitive team. And he's been killing it.
Kyle?
I'm going to go with OG Anunoby
Nice.
from Toronto. His numbers aren't going to, jump out at you, but his defense, they're making him guard, the LeBron. They're making him guard the team best player. He's doing pretty well with it. Once he fixes his jump shot, he'll be even more scary. And I think, a couple years down the line, he's going to be a big name that everybody needs to watch out for.
That's fair.
I'm going to double down and say Lonzo again. If you look at this young kid coming in, I know Jeff's mad, but look at the pressure that was put on this kid before he even stepped on the court in the NBA. And he's not shit in the bed. He's not, playing a superstar caliber, but he's not totally fading out.
I just don't think his head's in it at all.
He's not having fun.
He's passive. He's not having fun.
He should have, if he was going to succeed, I think he would have been drafted by another team if he was going to succeed.
I'm
The
just
Lakers
gonna
was a
say
bad
it
spot
here,
for
if
him.
he's going to succeed, we need to get rid of LeVar at the games and just tone him out completely.
If he went to, say if the Sixers didn't pick Markelle Fultz and he fell to the Sixers, I think he'd be better there because...
I don't think so. I think he goes through the same struggle. He needs to differentiate himself. He needs to be the NBA player, not the dad that
That's
pushes
what I mean.
everything on
That's
his
what I
sons.
mean. With the pressure that's been put around him from his dad and now his two brothers, he's kind of standing on his own, playing decently. He's not horrible.
I'm just questioning his character and his desire at this point. I mean, we've seen the team got in a scuffle and he just walks away. He's just insanely passive when he needs to step up.
Is this at all a big market, small market issue, with him playing and affecting his play?
No, I agree with Jeff. I think he would have struggled anywhere. And the reason I say that is because granted, yes, there's the pressure from his father and from the media and all this stuff, but he's how old is he? What, 21?
Not even
2021.
20. So 2021, you're playing at the highest possible level of the sport you love for the team you grew up watching, and you can't have fun with that. You're not having fun anywhere else. That's for sure. I mean, if I was 20 years old and the Bulls let me play one game, I'd have the time of my life.
I'd foul out in like 3 minutes.
I would take every 3. But short arm all of them. But he's just not having fun. That's just. I think I talked about it on a previous show. It was, watched the Bulls Lakers game, and the commentators, all they were talking about was just he doesn't have fun. He's never out there. He's not smiling. He's not laughing with his teammates. Ingram throws a dime alley oop from half court, and Lonzo catches it with one hand and yams it over a 6'8" defender, and he just comes down like he's not excited about it. He doesn't get amped up. There's no passion. And I'm sorry, but I understand you're getting paid a lot of money to win, and if you don't do it, they're gonna ship you out elsewhere. But you got to go back to the reason you started playing basketball.
How was he in college?
Well, I was going to ask the same question. I feel like I've seen clips of him. He was never smiling in
Was that how
college.
he was
In college, he was like the best player in college last year.
What I mean is, as far as personality wise, like, is that just how he is, or was he, more?
On the clips, he always seems so stoic.
No, because maybe like while playing, but like you go to pre-draft interviews, draft day interviews, and game interviews during his college career, and he'd laugh with reporters, or like he'd get a chuckle about someone making a comment about his dad, or this or that, and he's just been stone-faced since the season tip-off.
Well, in college, he was able to do what he wants because everybody's his age. Everybody's, is at the same talent level he is. Like they're the same maturity level as he is. So he was able to play, with a lot of confidence. In the NBA, he's facing like LeBron James, one of the greatest players of all time. And he can't,
LeBron James.
And he can't, match up to that. And I feel like that's hurting him, and his father's on his other ears saying, you got to get to his level. And it's making him feel like he has to push more and more.
LeVar's the problem. LeVar's the problem.
Maybe, but
He'll be in Lithuania for a lot of time now, so who cares?
That's not a definite.
It is.
it's tough, but I think a part of it too is I think Lonzo Ball's not having fun because he was the highest rated college player coming out of the draft, right? Technically speaking, like he was the best collegiate player last year, and one of, we'll say, top 3 highest rated players. He's not even the best rookie on the Lakers.
Nope.
And I mean, I know that wasn't the case coming into it, but now the season's underway. We're well into the season, so this isn't, it wasn't a 4-game fluke. He wasn't, he didn't come out and have rookie nerves. He's just not playing well, and he's not even the best rookie on the team. And
Kyle Kuzma playing out of his ass.
I don't know if you meant that.
I like the emphasis on ass. That's
Well,
the best
my
part.
thing is, all right, so Kyle Kuzma, was a late first-round pick. Usually late first-round picks, go to the D-League. They don't really get the playing time that you would expect. They brought him in right away. He came off the bench, scored 15 points the first game. The next game, he scored 18 points. Then he became in the starting lineup, consistently scoring. That's the confidence that Lonzo's missing.
True.
How accurate are those numbers?
Pretty accurate.
They are fairly.
Yeah.
Surprised.
I'll say it too. Getting back to the discussion at hand. I mean, it's biased, but Lauri Markkanen. I mean, it's kind of fallen off a little bit. He was playing lights out in the beginning of the year, but that's also because nobody else on the Bulls was doing anything. Now that they got Chris Dunn back and he's starting to score and play defense.
You got Mirotic too.
Mirotic come back and he's taking minutes, and Portis is back, and it's not even minutes because Markkanen's still averaging 30 minutes a game, but there's more scoring options. He doesn't have to be the guy, but I mean, still so far in, I mean, he's averaging just under 15 points a game. He's got 8 boards, and he's shooting 40% from the field and 33% from behind the arc, and I think a big importance too, especially for a big man that is going to be scoring as often as he is, and does like the Porzingis type of play all over the court on the offensive side, he's averaging less than 1 turnover per game and just over 1 foul a game, which I think is pretty impressive for a rookie of any position. Because that's one of the first things that they're going to start doing is ill-advised passes, dumb fouls, things like that. And I think he's been pretty poised. But he's also foreign, so...
Well,
he's
he played
good,
college in the
good
US.
piece to build around moving forward.
Yeah. I think the Bulls have some potential.
Yeah.
Chris Dunn's been playing pretty well. He's living up to the player that he should have been. Quoting
They're
Souls from earlier.
allowing him to play.
Right.
Minnesota,
And
he was kind of like the back end.
If Levine is able to have his explosiveness when he comes back, that'll definitely be exciting. They've got Portis. Valentine's kind of coming into his own this year. So who knows? Maybe this kid's,
They're going to trade Mirotic.
They just re-signed him. I don't know if they will. They might not. They have the money. They're not really paying anybody right now.
True.
Half their team is under rookie contract or like on the minimum.
Kind of like another team I know. The Phillies. Don't worry about it. Different talk.
Yeah,
Kyle, you looked at me like I should have known where you were going with that.
You said it, and you like looked at him. I was like, the Pelicans. No way, this is the Pelicans. They have like 2 of the highest. Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's true.
Could have put
Alright.
Madden after this.
Oh,
So let's we get the season. I was talking to Jeff too. I mean, I don't know if Kyle or Jeff have any weigh in on this, but watching some games this season, and I followed this one on my phone last night. But I think last night, right? The Lakers and the Knicks.
oh yeah.
I think that might be one of the best
There
games
was
that have been
many
played so
lead
far this
changes.
season.
Yeah,
It was a very exciting fourth quarter. It was an exciting overtime. The Knicks kind of pulled away a little bit at the end, enough to stay comfortable because they just weren't missing. But that was a very exciting game. It was a lot of physical, aggressive offensive rebounds on putbacks, and it was. I mean, Porzingis was, showing that, hey, I can be the guy in any clutch situation, and it was a really exciting game.
Saw a lot of LeVar on the sidelines there.
Yeah,
He was pretty animated.
he dabbed up Spike Lee before the
Yeah,
game.
he did.
Well, the thing about the Knicks this year, they added a little toughness in Enes Kanter, which they didn't have last year.
Don't forget Frank the Tank.
Well, I'm saying like
Will Ferrell?
they were a soft team last year.
No,
Yes.
The Knicks were a
No,
very
they were.
soft team last year.
They've really made it a focus to defense. They want to improve defensively, and we have the scoring.
Like Tim Hardaway, yes, I feel like they still overpaid for him.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna play like right now. I'd say he's worth what he's making this year. Does he do it the whole contract? To me, that's gonna really depend.
Well, he's getting paid $70 million, which everyone thought at the time was an asinine of a contract.
Look at Mozgov.
It's
Like the cap.
There's no such thing as an asinine contract in the NBA anymore. There just isn't. There's so many players that are getting so much more money than they deserve.
Joakim.
Yeah. How many Knicks players are we going to name?
That's it. So, Ron Baker, but I don't know how his contract works now. 'cause
He's
he
only
went
1
down.
year now.
They're not paying Ron Baker enough.
I mean, he made more than Rondo and Rose.
So,
Good.
That's absurd.
have you seen the man?
He's
He did
beautiful.
just come back up too.
Better watch out. That guy's going to average 4 points a game.
And 3 turnovers.
And 1 for 8 shooting.
Yeah.
But you know what? I hope that 4 points is a 4-point play per game. That'd be awesome. Imagine getting like 1 a game for just a season. That's all you do. So, Kyle, any games that you watched that you thought were exciting?
Well, last night, the Sixers Wolves. In the last 3 to 4 minutes, there were, I think it was 7 lead changes between the two. And, they went to overtime, Sixers pulled away. But it just showed that those two teams match up very well together. Both have a great big man.
You pretty much just said exactly what I said about the Knicks game, but just added 2 different teams to the mix.
You had to talk about the Sixers.
Well, yeah, of course.
And that was sorry, I don't know. That was Tuesday night.
That was last night.
Tuesday night. Was it Tuesday night, Kyle?
Yeah. That was day it was.
Oh, God. Just everybody just private stock. Everybody at the table. Everyone do it. You've been cut off, Kyle, from talking about basketball. So we're going to go to our real NBA insider.
He thought for sure you were going to say from the private stock.
He
So-
looked right at the bottom. It's just-
So we've got some Christmas Day games coming up in the not so far future. This year it gets a little. I feel like it gets a little overlooked this year because of the schedule. I mean, I just feel like it's a. Like I know the NFL doesn't play on Christmas Day. They'll play 1 game, right? I think the NFL does
2.
2 games, but like it's I don't know. It's just right after a Sunday. I feel like it's just I don't know. But are you intrigued about the matchups, Kyle?
I'm intrigued about a couple of games.
Okay.
Cavs Warriors, you know.
Well, we'll go on
that's
the
a big
lineup.
game.
So the games in order from time. So starting off the day is Knicks 76ers. So there'll be a shot of private stock for the loser of that game.
We all know what's going to happen. It's going to be a buzzer beater either way. That's how
Covington.
all of our Knicks.
Tie.
TJ
It's gonna be a
McConnell's
tie.
going to make the game winning
We don't
shot.
have Melo to do it this year, so I guess Porzingis can do it. You.
But that's just it, though. You guys are the underdogs now. So Ron Baker makes the game-winning shot.
The 4-point play.
And then at 3 o'clock, we got Cavs Warriors. 5:30 is Wizards Celtics. Will John Wall be okay
up
for
in
that?
The real
It's up in
question
the air.
is Isaiah going to be playing on Christmas Day? Was
That's-
LeBron getting his Christmas present?
That's true too. Then we have Rockets Thunder at 8 and Timberwolves Lakers at 10:30.
I kind of looked down after I said it.
What's exciting about the Christmas games is that they're actually televising teams that like usually aren't televised, like the Timberwolves, the Sixers.
Did you just watch those guys last night or Tuesday night?
We didn't watch it, but like no team they were normally not like televised. This year, you know, they're
What?
caught that bitch.
What are you talking about?
Anyway,
Anyway, back to untelevised teams.
I just like the fact that they're letting other teams be on TV, except like you know the Cavs and the Warriors and the Rockets.
Who are all also on TV.
Like the Suns have been on TV a lot.
download NBA Game Time. No, we're not going to advertise here.
All right. So, I mean, which team do you think has the potential to be the biggest matchup? Like the best game played?
Cavs Warriors.
See, I don't think so. I feel didn't last time they played on Christmas wasn't it a blowout?
Yeah, they always. I feel like regular season they never put up fun games.
Yeah.
I see our game, the Knicks Sixers, being we're always down the wire, but now both teams are looking a lot better.
I think Rockets Thunder has a lot of potential too.
Yeah.
We've seen games where the Thunder's big three is on, and if they're on, that can be really good.
Everyone's going to be asleep for Wolves Lakers already.
Yeah, a lot of lasagna and red wine. Do you think Wizards Celtics is boring?
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's a big rivalry now. It's just. I don't really know how much people are going to watch it because you know,
Kelly
football
Oubre.
games.
Kelly Oubre.
What?
I'm gonna watch it for him.
His supreme leg sleeve.
Yeah, that was funny. I don't know. I feel like I haven't really been as enticed this year as I have in seasons past, and it's weird because it's not the same two teams running the table, but I feel like after the past few years, I just kind of know the inevitable end. Makes me sad. Like I was really looking forward for like Minnesota, but I don't think they really have the oomph yet to get to that level. I don't think the Celtics can do it.
Nothing changes till LeBron retires.
Yeah.
That's the way.
No, it's true though, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, but we'll divvy off of. Oh yes, Mark?
I just have a quick question. Jeff just made me think of this. Do you guys think LeBron retires a Cavalier?
Yes, I do.
He might sign somewhere else, but he'll probably retire.
Well, I
tell you
mean,
what
like, do you think he's going to play somewhere else before he retires?
yeah, I think he
I
leaves
think
the Cavs this year.
He's going to play for one more team. It could be the Cavs if he chooses to stay, but I think whatever his next contract is the contract.
LeBron's getting up there. He's gonna want to go play in the desert.
I knew he was going to say it.
Phoenix.
Well, they were saying Houston might be a good fit for him.
I mean, any team is a good fit for LeBron. They were saying
Who?
every time.
Who was saying?
Adam Wazowski.
That's not a real guy.
Yes, it is.
Is that the guy from Monsters Inc?
With Mike Wazowski.
You know
What
what?
did you say?
That's awesome. I'm glad you said that. Private stock.
Excellent. I can't think of any lines from that movie.
I'm not going to say any because I'll have to do private stock if I do.
Oh, come on.
Say it.
Give us
Join
one.
me.
No, I'm not.
Give me
doing that.
one.
No, I'm not doing
Private
that.
stock if you don't.
That's you can't do that.
No balls.
I'm not Jeff. That doesn't work for me.
I tried.
But so I don't know. What players are really surprising you this year? Outside, obviously this is a good discussion because it's not the LeBron James, Steph Curry. Even I don't really even think you can put Giannis into that discussion. I mean, he's playing better, but we kind of have come to expect that a little bit now. So what players are really surprising you this season, except for Oladipo? I knew that was kind of, well, I've said it before. I'm going to say Oladipo.
I'm going to say Courtney Lee.
Yeah,
Courtney Lee.
he's playing real well.
Before he was a Knick last year, he kind of bounced around from team to team. He's always been like a good wing defender, 3-point shooter, but he's taken over games, which is something he doesn't do. He's been consistent, both ends of the ball. He's pretty much been a really big part of our winning.
Yeah. Souls, you got anybody?
I'm gonna go with Devin Booker.
Okay.
And yes,
You're
last
surprised?
year, he scored a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
This year, he's keeping his teams in games more. They might not be.
doing last year too, though. I
Yeah,
don't
they
see
lost
that
by
as a
like
surprise.
30, like 13 times last year.
And he lost Bledsoe too, so it's just him.
True.
It doesn't matter.
Not
Like,
a surprise.
the young team, is really. He's the leader of that team, and it's really showing to prove that
Not a
he can
surprise.
carry his team.
All right, fair. Well, I mean, I guess I can piggyback off that with somebody that's like a surprise, but not a surprise.
Not a surprise.
Well, I was going to say Porzingis, and the only reason I say that is because I didn't know what to expect with him being the guy
Yeah,
on a team, especially bringing in these new pieces.
it's true.
And, it's not like he worked up in the system with the same rotation around him. They added a lot of new pieces. They got rid of a very reliable scoring piece, and I think he's responded above and beyond what anybody could have expected or hoped.
For sure.
And I think him and Bradley Beal, those are my two.
I was really nervous to see if he would take over as the face of New York. I mean, that's a big task, especially following Carmelo Anthony.
And given the fact that he's not even old enough to drink yet.
I know.
Another name though, Donovan Mitchell from Utah.
Yeah,
They thought going into the season they weren't going to have that scoring option.
he's put up a couple, 2 or 3 40-point games.
Yeah,
recently.
he's shooting the ball well, and he's taking smart shots. He's not forcing.
He's
anything.
also I know he was a shooter in college, right?
He's more
He's
of a
been
driver.
I was gonna say he's been slashing a lot.
Yeah, he's a driver.
Yeah. I think one too, kind of an under the radar one though. Aaron Gordon,
Yeah,
he's been playing very well this year, and he's getting his minutes bumped up, and it's showing. I think he put a lot of work in the offseason, and
his jumper is really good. This
yeah,
year.
he's really elevated his scoring threat other than cutting to the rim and dunking.
That's what a lot of these power forwards need to do or have been doing.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game now. You pretty much have to have an outside shot.
yeah, it's
It's
true.
crazy.
And
But
Another one's Chris Dunn. Had an abysmal season last year. The Bulls traded for him.
Good word, Kyle.
And the Bulls
Prime
traded
stock.
for him, hoping that he could, get his ship together. And he proven that he can actually play in the NBA. He's not, he's not afraid to shoot. He's not afraid to drive.
he's playing really good defense too.
Yeah, he's being the guy that Minnesota wanted him to be.
Actually, Marshall, do you have anybody?
The first name that came to mind for me was Kyrie. I didn't expect him to play super well this year, especially when Hayward went down, and he's playing great. It was surprising.
Sure. How many minutes into the season did Hayward go down? Do we know that?
3.
So,
I
like-
think it was it might have been 3.
It was in the first quarter, though, right?
5
It was very early.
Oh, that's so terrible. All right, so same question, but with disappointments. What players are disappointing you so far this season?
Mock, go.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'll kind of lead off with one, but I'm just going to pretty much just say Oklahoma. I don't know. Like they're winning some games, but they're not even in the playoff picture if the season were to end today. I know there's tons of basketball to be played, but, coming into the season, I feel like a lot of teams kind of expected them to be heavyweight contender. I feel like a lot of analysis kind of thought that they would be projected in the 4-3 seed at this point in the season. I mean, they're sitting at the 9 seed comfortably, and I don't know, it just hasn't really seemed to click.
And then for me would be C.J. McCollum. He was a guy last year that really peaked with Damian Lillard. This year he's shooting under 30% from behind the arc. He's only scoring about 13 points a game. The Blazers are struggling because he ain't shooting well. Damian Lillard,
shooting well.
Lillard can only do so much, and he's not helping him at all.
Real quick, I was thinking about this. The backtrack, we talked about surprises. I'd like to throw Dwight Howard into that conversation as well.
Yeah,
he is starting to resurge his career. He's starting to look like Dwight Howard from Orlando.
Kemba Walker too.
Yeah, they're both playing well.
UConn.
I feel like too, for disappointment's sake, Al Horford. He hasn't really. I mean, like he's older, and
Yeah.
and like he was kind of relied on more for scoring last year with Kyrie. That kind of takes it away. But I just feel like he really hasn't really been anything to marvel at. Like, I mean, I can't ever anytime you get a notification about a Celtics game, I don't ever see his name in any of the headlines. I don't watch it the top plays. You don't he's not involved in them. Like not even an assist or blocks or anything like that. Just I don't know.
I don't want to say it again, but Lonzo Ball has been a disappointment, and strictly due to his attitude, in my opinion. But you look at his stats; he's not playing terrible basketball. He's playing great defense, and he's been a plus playmaker. But it's the shooting; like he can shoot. He can score. He was a natural scorer in college, and I don't know. I feel like he doesn't have the fire.
If we can jump back real quick to the surprising again, I have two names: Dennis Schroeder and Tobias Harris.
I mean, Dennis Schroeder, yeah, but also
But like he was given that team.
who the hell else is going to do it?
Well, exactly. Like I didn't think like he can carry the load. Like I didn't think he would
He's
be able to
a
score.
Duracell battery. Of course he can.
I was
I-
waiting for someone to say that.
I didn't think he can score 20 to 25
It's a
points a
copper
game.
top.
Copper top.
And,
Oh,
and
gross.
and also Tobias Harris, is scoring 18 points a game.
It's like a young Paul Pierce.
He's playing good defense. He's actually showing where he's supposed to be.
All right, that's fair. Red Baron?
Rudy Gay. And I'll tell you why. I didn't even know he was still playing. I found out recently he was still playing, and he is just a disaster.
What team does he play for?
The Spurs. Jeff, help me.
I was going to say, I wonder if you could pick up me whispering.
I was wondering what you were about to say because it didn't sound like an NBA team.
I was
The
gonna say-
Broncos.
Kyle, actually, didn't you call him like a cancer to basketball?
He is a cancer to every team he
Yes.
plays for. Every team he played for just does worse.
They said that about J.R. Smith, but now look at him. So I guess the Spurs
Okay,
are winning
but-
the title this year.
Memphis traded
Ah,
for him.
da-
Memphis traded for him, right?
You guys want to wrestle about it?
What?
You guys want to wrestle about it?
Shut up, Mark.
It is battle of the gray sweatsuits.
We'll have to post a picture.
Yeah, we even have like similar shoes.
Oh, man. And the hats. Perfect.
That'd be a nice picture.
Yeah.
We'll put that up.
Prom pose.
So,
Yeah.
real quick, we'll go on the horn. Western Conference Finals matchup. Red Baron.
Golden State, Houston.
J-Mart.
Yep.
Souls.
San Antonio, Houston.
Ooh.
Wow.
Golden State, Houston.
You can't say that. Someone already said it. It's been said twice. You have to pick a new thing.
Golden State, San Antonio.
No, that's been said twice.
You
Sorry.
could have said Houston, Golden State.
I said, yeah, there's so many options.
No one said Dallas yet.
Because they're in last.
Thanks, Kyle.
Go Mark Cuban.
No, I'm going to say Houston, San Antonio as well. I think Golden State gets bit.
I'd like to see that happen.
Same question. Eastern Conference. Maxine.
Cavs, Celtics.
Souls. Oh, God. Hit him with a look at Red Baron. Say Kyle's name.
Cavs, Wizards.
Yuck. J-Mart.
Cavs, Sixers.
Ooh.
I'm not high-fiving you, though.
Red Baron.
Cavs, Wizards.
Kyle is now standing, showing us his erection.
Cavs Wizards.
Cavs, Wizards. John Wall.
All right.
I won't even look at him.
Ready for this one? Bold prediction here. Celtics, Raptors.
Really?
I don't think Cleveland or Golden State makes it to the Eastern or Western Conference Finals.
This is false hope.
No, it's not.
I would
It
like
kinda
to
is.
question if the NBA rigged this season if that happened.
I am the NBA.
New York's looking good, right?
Uh-oh. But you just do.
I don't know. I think there's like a small
Just rip off your
salamander.
fingernail?
No.
Okay, so we've given our Eastern and Western Conference predictions. So which of your two teams make it to the finals and who's winning? J-Mart.
Golden State is losing to Cleveland.
San Antonio, Cleveland. San Antonio takes it.
All right.
Golden State over Cleveland.
Cleveland beats Houston.
Toronto beats Houston.
Shit, that means Houston's going to win because the last time you did this, you had them losing.
Yeah, that's true.
You're damn right.
So, real quick, who are the Steelers losing to in the Super Bowl?
The Oilers.
So there's NBA talk. Souls, you've been real helpful today. Very proud of you. Excellent, excellent. The next time we do an NBA show, I'm going to ask you a random statistical question.
Okay.
And you are going to have to give me
You said the next show.
the next show. We do, not right now.
Do I not?
No, I'm not doing it right now.
What college did Denzel Valentine go to?
No, that's not a statistical question. So you can have some private stock.
Michigan State. Average 21 points a game.
That's not true.
8 rebounds.
8 robs.
8 rounds.
And
Robs. I'm going to ask you a statistical question. It's going to either be points, rebounds, steals, blocks, whatever, and you have to give me the top 5 in order, 1 through 5. For every one you get wrong, is a shot of private stock.
So I want to call out of work the next day or request the next day off. So let me know when this is happening.
All right. Beer reviews, the Goose reviews.
I had the oatmeal stout. I enjoyed it. Had a sweetness to it. Now, these all came from the same pack, did they not?
Yeah.
What was the name of the pack?
The flight.
The Flight.
Yeah. It's a flight pack.
I highly recommend it. I don't know how many oatmeal stouts I've had prior, but I enjoyed this one.
Breakfast out.
I'm a very big fan of the Fulton Street blend. A lot of times with the coffee beers, you just get like a heavy porter or something like that, and it's just heavy. This is nice. You still get like the crisp beer, the ale, but you know, with the little coffee in it. Probably gonna drink one tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
Bright and early.
Right.
Machine?
I had the Koi Wolf.
Oh, your machine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I had the Koi Wolf. It was pretty good. That's all I got. Mark, you're up.
The alt beer is nice. It's a nice switch up. I drink a lot of IPA, so this was a nice change of pace.
Nice.
I liked it.
An alternative beer.
There you go.
And well, I didn't do one on the show.
There you go.
So the first review in the Farmhouse Ale series from Goose Island, other than it exploding all over my persons, it was very good. This is the first time I've had one of the Farmhouse Ales aged for the entire duration.
That thing kind of busted on your face there.
Yeah, it Asa cured me real quick.
I was gonna say, there's no way no jokes are made.
Oh, I'm making that joke. But it was very good. It got a real funk to it. The Farmhouse Ales kind of already have a natural funk to them, but you could really taste the yeast doing its job in this one.
Wait, Jeff, what is it?
Yeast.
And some light fruitiness on it. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Make sure to tune in next week.
we look forward to your next review.
For another one that's going to blow in my face. I believe Machine Washable has some social media and promo news.
Well, yeah, take a minute, listen to our friends over at the Musing While Boozing podcast.
Musing while boozing, because the best thinking happens while drinking. Hot topics over cold drinks.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Carl.
Do you like to laugh?
And do you love to drink?
Check out musingwhileboozing.com.
We can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Musing While Boozing, where the next round is always on us.
And be sure to find us on Facebook and Instagram. Sorry, Paul made a really funny face. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk. And Twitter is GSWD_4.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD, whether you're getting a load of beer blown in your face or you're having sex with Kyle.
And subscribe on iTunes and Podbean. And you can find us every morning from 7 to 8 a.m. on the Lieb Sports Network.
Every morning.
And every Sunday from 12 to 1 p.m. on the PPRN Radio Network.
I feel like I just rinsed with mouthwash that someone had dumped cinnamon in. I don't know. It's not going away.
Yeah, it hangs around a little bit.
It feels like...
Do you hate it?
It feels like I just chewed Tums that were wrapped in spearmint gum.
Do you hate it?
I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, you don't know if it's good, but it's not bad.
Here's the thing. I don't hate it, but I don't want any more. Fair?
So it
Wait
sounds
till
like you
next
need some
time.
more.
Make sure to listen to our friends at the PPRN Network every
Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Good thing I reassured that. I said the wrong day.
Every Tuesday and Wednesday night is the Peter Pino show, and on Thursdays they have the Latin soundtrack.
Yep, and we're on Sundays, and we're excited for more viewers and listeners. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
And until next time,
Download the app. Download the PPRN
download
app.
the app. But until then, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mock.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
I'm the man of many names.
I'm J-Mart.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Meow.